With Jeb Bush's departure from the race, Marco Rubio raking in lots of donor money and big-name endorsements. Is that enough for Rubio to stop Donald Trump's momentum? Let's bring in Henry Barbour. He's a Republican National Committee member, a Republican strategist, and, interestingly, one of the people who was tasked with fixing the GOP's image after their 2012 loss. Mr. Barbour, we'll get to that image momentarily, but I understand that you have an endorsement that you'd like to make here on New Day. What is it?
Good morning, Allison. Yes, I'm proud on New Day to endorse Marco Rubio for president. Very proud to do that.
And what that you like so much about Rubio as opposed to, say, Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or Ben Carson or John Kasich?
Well, Marco Rubio meets the Bill Buckley test. He's the most conservative candidate in the race who can actually win the general election. He has got a 98% lifetime rating with the American Conservative Union, making him the fourth most conservative member of the U.S. Senate. He is the conservative candidate who is right on the issues, whether it's jobs, whether it's national security, whether it's upholding our values. We know that we can count on Marco. And so I believe that Marco is the kind of conservative who actually likes all Americans. He wants Americans to attain their dreams and their aspirations, and that's for all Americans. So I think he is the conservative that we've got to unite behind if we want to win the White House. And at the end of the day, if we don't win the White House, we end up with a third term of Barack Obama.
Mr. Barbour, you join a long now distinguished line of people who have endorsed Marco Rubio. Let me pull that up here. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty just endorsed yesterday on our show, as you just have, former Senator Bob Dole, Orrin Hatch, Jeff Flake, Tom Tillis, Dean Heller. Now, one theory is that these are all establishment figures like yourself, and that in a year when voters are so angry and looking for something different, in some ways these endorsements become a liability for Marco Rubio. What's your response?
Well, you know what? Marco Rubio took on the establishment in Florida. People told him he couldn't run for the U.S. Senate in 2010. The Tea Party got behind Marco Rubio, and they did because he was a conservative who got things done in the House of Representatives down in Florida as their speaker. And he won that race for the U.S. Senate, and now he's gotten things accomplished in the U.S. Senate as a senator. And he's the conservative who gives us our best contrast with Hillary Clinton. At the end of the day, we've got to win this race. And look, endorsements for the most part don't matter. Most people care about what their neighbor thinks, not what some political person on TV is talking about. But at the end of the day, we've got to win the White House, and Marco Rubio is our best contrast with Hillary Clinton.